So I guess you can probably hear that in the background. That's Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. Another one of my favorites. Good evening from Central. It's pretty wet out there tonight. As you saw from the intro, yeah, that's what it's like out there, but that's why I'm not standing on the balcony having a smoke. I'm right by the door and yeah, it's one of those kind of nights. So, good evening, and for all my friends and relatives north of 60, I will say Katsat Gwinzi, and that means good evening in Dinji Zhu. So, to everyone out there on the marble, it's Saturday night. I don't know what you're doing. I'm not outside tonight. Yeah, 'cause I don't have a wetsuit. But yeah, it's been kind of a quiet day. It was windy and rainy all day, but I only got 2 days left. I thought I had one day left, but it's two. That's okay. I'm on my way. So I'm happy. Well, you gotta be happy anyway, right? Why not? Nobody's gonna be happy for you except for you. Yeah, so I wanted to go live, but I don't think I have that capability yet until my channel is. I'll probably get taken off anyway. They're too controversial, right? I talk too much about stuff they don't think is right. I don't toe the government line. I toe my own line, and there's a big difference. I'm not being a subversive or a dissident or anything. I'm just being smart and using my own uh-oh uh-oh ads on YouTube constant, can't get away from it unless you subscribe, or I mean pay, right? If you pay you don't have to listen to this stuff. That's how they get you. Oh, I hate. Oh, I don't like that stuff. But anyway, yeah. Wow, it's really coming down up there. I think it'll rain all night, and then that'll be it for the snow until the day I leave. When I leave on Monday, leaving on a jet plane, I'll be taking off, and it'll be the biggest snowstorm in Canadian history will hit Newfoundland. You watch. They'll get, oh, the blizzard of 2020 in St. John's was nothing but. You wait till they talk about Gander, and they got to bring in the military and everything, and take over the town, 'cause they buried me sons. You watch, or something like that. I don't know, I just got this strange feeling. But anyway, that's just me. Crazy talk. Yeah, so I just wanted to drop that, say hello, and I still haven't finished what I was putting together, but I will. and I'll put that out too. So, um, subscribe to my channel, get notifications. I'm gonna put out um, videos and stuff, just little short ones, nothing really too long, and a lot of good stuff. No doom and gloom. There's enough of that out there already. So I just want to say hello most of the time and maybe play a tune or two in the background and not hurt anybody. Just have a good time. Talk of you, tell of your stories, playing, you know, or let some good, real information out there because I am out there. I'm not, you know, I've tested negative from a healthcare facility, so as long as I practice the right techniques, I'm going to be safe. And therefore, everybody else around me is going to be safe. Because I don't walk right up to people. Some people I do, and just to gauge their reaction. But most of the time, 99% of the time, they walk right up to me because I'm talking to somebody else that's 6 feet away and they hear what I'm talking about. So they want to talk to me and tell me something and they walk right up to me and I back away and go, hey, hey, you know, and everybody around me looks and they go, and then I usually address everybody like in a loud enough voice and I say, you know, something like, wow, is this the new normal? Is this what they want? Everybody 6 feet away from each other, no more human contact, no more touching. Wow, I don't want to live here anymore. And I walked away. And everybody was speechless. Nobody talked. It was dead quiet. Wow. That's what it's coming to, right? That's what they're teaching you to accept. And it's no way to live. So the only thing I can say is, you know, if uh, if you want to stay in the cities and stuff, you know, if you want to stay with 200,000 people or more, you know, pretty soon that's going to be the people you're going to be permanently with. And that's not a lie because it's going to get worse. And they're going to shut down all travel. So pick your spot. And if you want to be free, don't be in a city because there are going to be nothing but control grids. And I have personal experience just in a small town like this of the new control grid system. I mean, just because I'm staying here, it's made it very difficult for the bank to verify who I am because they don't recognize me at this location and I don't have a cell phone. So they think I'm using a public computer to hack into my account. So every time I go to log into my bank account to check my balance because I'm supposed to be getting money, right? Boom, they ask for a verification code. So I don't have a cell phone. So I have to go downstairs. I have to talk to the front desk lady, whoever it is. If she's got a cell phone, they all do. And I say, hey, I'm going to send this code or send this message to the bank and they're going to send you a code. Is that okay? And she goes, yeah. And I get the number off her and boom, boom, we do it right now. And I've done that, I don't know how many times since I've been here. And it's getting harder and harder. And it still won't accept my location for the simple reason I don't have a cell phone. If I had a cell phone, boom, I'm automatically locked into the system, right? And then they can track wherever that cell phone goes. But they don't like if it's a person they're trying to track, or anybody for that matter, um, that's using public computers without a tracking device on them besides, their credit card and their debit card or their driver's license. If it's got a magnetic stripe, it's got a chip in it. So the more, the cell phone is the best because they can turn it on or turn it off. And that's your connection to the internet, right? If you're not at a computer. So, yeah, that's your ankle bracelet, is your phone. And for people that know me, I haven't had a cell phone my whole life. The only time I've only carried a cell phone on a couple of occasions in jobs that I had to. And this last one, the last job that I've had, the one I'm going back to, I have to carry a cell phone, but when I came out here, I left it back in BC. It's a work phone. I've always got it because I'm a manager, but it's still a work phone, so I'm not at work, so that stays over there. And, there's no way that I have this big... I don't have a connection to the internet with a handheld device, except for a laptop. And yeah, so that's how I do it. And they don't recognize a laptop as a carryable device. That's, not too many people carry it around and use it as a communications device. They just carry their phone. So they've always got their phone. Sure, they carry their laptop, but not all the time, like a phone. So yeah, it's one way to unplug. And I've unplugged for most of my life. I don't like that. It's a good way to keep in touch, sure. But whatever happened to, he wasn't, the phone rang 10 times and you weren't home. Where were you? Well, I was da-da-da, right? Now it's, if you don't pick up your phone right away, they get mad at you because you didn't pick up the phone. They knew you were down at 7-Eleven getting a gut bomb, and they phoned you because they wanted the Cools menthol 120s, and you didn't answer the phone. So you came home and you had your gut bomb half in your gullet, and the woman is going, where's my cigarettes? And he says, what cigarettes? Well, I phoned you, you didn't answer the phone. I texted you, you didn't answer my text. So where's my cigarettes? Oh, hey, you don't even have your cell phone on you? Well, no, I was just going down to 7-Eleven. Well, you keep that with you at all times. I need to keep a hold of you, and then there you go. It starts right there. Not only is the control grid looking at you, it's your own surrounding circle of friends or relatives or neighbors or whoever, right? That phones you all the time. They're saying, hey, but it's everybody's wrapped up in these phones, and their whole life is in that phone. You pay with it, you got all your contacts in it. You lose that phone and you don't know what to do. It's like somebody turned part of your life off because you can't remember anymore. I mean, nobody writes anything down anymore. Nobody does. They punch it into their phone, into their little notepad or their little, oh, what's your number? I'll text you. Yeah. And it's become that. And we're a hands-off society to begin with. And that's what we've been bred into being, is isolated. And everybody withdraws, and that's why you get kids texting each other from across the room. They won't even walk over and talk to them anymore because, hey, they got the latest iPhone 10, right? Daddy just bought it and it cost him $1,000 plus tax. And the kid across there, he's got a Samsung latest, whatever the heck that is. But he's paid more because, whatever. It's a big game. And they've gotten everyone to depend on these devices. And now the system has been plugged in to these devices, and they're tracking you. They've already let you know that the system was being built, and Edward Snowden and other people like that let you know that this was coming out. The systems were in place because he had helped build them for the NSA and the CIA and Booz Allen Hamilton and probably Raytheon and other top defense and, contract companies that are, that not only produce weaponry for the military, but they build and supply control systems for riot police or private armies like XE or Blackwater. So wow, you have no idea. But I've been looking into this stuff, and it's not made up. It's not, they're always trying to deflect and say, oh, that's not real. Well, here, I got the documents that says it's real. And why are you so adamant about denying the reality of it? It's staring you right in the face. They're even telling you on the mainstream news these things are happening, but they don't broadcast it like the bad news. They just kind of whisper it in the background. So they have the excuse always of saying, well, look, we can go to the news archives. And, at 5:37 on Tuesday night on Fox, the news was released that Raytheon had just built this and was waiting for government approval. It was going through the Armed Senate Committee, and and they talk about it like, whew, there's nothing to it. And this is just another system being put in place to control you, but they disguise it as protecting you, protecting your freedom. All they're doing is taking more and more of your freedom away. And until people realize that, they're going to be lab rats for the rest of this, whatever this is going to turn into. And they're developing systems to control you more and more and more. And it just dumbfounds me that people can't see this, that it's right in front of their face. And um, they're blind. It's seemingly blind. Um, I've been walking around the past few days, and yesterday, well, today was windy and rainy, and there was nobody around. A few people, but not many. I walked uptown, but yeah, yesterday was bright and sunny, and the town was packed. There was lineups in every store, the dollar store, Canadian Tire. There's a big long lineup at Canadian Tire. Now, when is Canadian Tire an essential service, right? What about the mom and pop hardware store down the street? They're not allowed to be open. But the big box corporation store, hardware store is allowed to be. Same with Kent Building Supplies, they're open. Just certain big box corporation stores, but everything else is ordered to be closed until further notice. So something is not right there. You know, I can see waiting to relax the social distancing mitigation factors that they've placed, but they're not following them. There's people everywhere. I mean, you go up to Walmart yesterday, there must have been, at one time, maybe 75, maybe 80 people outside. Okay, what happened to no more gatherings of groups of 10 or more? That's in the Quarantine Act, right? So is Walmart breaking the Quarantine Act? Or is Walmart breaking the law? Should they be restricting their lineups to 10 or less people? How does that work? I mean, and same with the dollar store. I walked by the dollar store and there was probably 20 people outside lined up along the mall and waiting to get into the dollar store. And I mean, why is the dollar store open anyway? Is that essential? It is for the poor people, because that's where they go to shop for cheap food. Think about that, right? There's a dollar store in just about every community, right? And then you have the big box stores, like here it's Dominion and Co-op and Walmart, and they're all open. They're all have big lineups, but you know, it's just there doesn't seem to be what's right for one is right for the other one. Everyone has a different plan, or I mean, I go up there and these cart kids, I call them, these kids that go in the parking lots and grab the carts and they pull them back to the store, and they'll have a big lineup of carts, and they have one of those electric push things that so they don't even have to push the long, big long line of carts. The machine does it for them, and he makes sure he goes right through the middle of the crowd, and they all have to get out of the way for this kid, right? And he's just walking like he's 10 feet tall, and he'll walk back along the line and tell people, hey, you're too close to that guy, you gotta back up. Or hey, you're not allowed to smoke, you're too close to the door, or some other thing, right? they've given these kids this authority, and in some cases it's gone to their head. And I've heard the backlash from a couple of people in line because they're frustrated. They've been outside for half an hour waiting. It's snowing, they're cold, and here comes this kid telling them, get out of the way before I run you down with my carts, and hey buddy, you better put out that smoke, and hey you, back up because you're standing too close to her, and there you go. So just something to think about. So I didn't want to get into too much, but there's a lot going on that people that just sit at home, which they're told to do anyway, and stare at their computer screen or stare at the TV screen, are not getting the real picture of what's actually going on. They're getting the message that they want you to think is going on. But I'm out there, I see what's really going on, and it's a complete opposite. The old people are out in force. They've been home for over a month. They just got their pension check, either that or whatever program that they've been provided with from the federal government. So that's why the stores were packed yesterday. Everybody got their electronic payment, right? So, boom, everybody's been waiting. Everybody's hungry. They're running out of, Aunt Jemima's syrup. So they gotta head to Walmart or wherever. So, of course, everybody, and not just the people in Gander, but all the surrounding communities. So they all drive into town. The streets are packed. There's lots of traffic. The stores got lineups, and social distancing goes out the window. There's no way to to realistically prevent the spread. If there are carriers, it's all over, and it doesn't really matter what these stores do. The product that they're putting on the shelves to sell could already have the virus on it because somebody came along that was, showing no symptoms but was a carrier and left it there because they grabbed that bottle of shampoo and put it back because that wasn't the one, that the other, or whatever, right? They put it back and they put the virus back on the shelf. Just saying, right? So the next person comes, they grab that thing and they put it back too because, they didn't want that one either. So now you have instant transmission and the product is still there waiting to spread to more people. That's reality. And if it doesn't happen today, it's going to eventually happen because once you get all these people out and they don't practice social distancing and nothing happens for a little while, the numbers stay at 0, there's no spikes, and then they do lift the restrictions. They try to get everybody back to work and and boom, the virus comes back. That's the second wave that they're talking about. That's the second wave that's going to happen. So it's going to be worse, and that's what they're preparing you for, is lockdown. And it's going to be it's going to be a lot harsher this round. It's going to really start getting to elderly people and infirm people, like they said, but this time it's going to really start. Like, it's not going to be uh, numbers that you see going up rapidly of people contracting the virus. It's going to be the numbers of dead from the virus. And they're not going to be able to keep up with it. But people are going to see it on TV right away. They're going to pump it, pump it, pump it like they always do. And this is just still more conditioning for the third wave or fourth or fifth. I don't even think it's going to have to go that far. They'll probably only have to do 3 waves. Think about that. This virus was engineered to be highly, highly contagious. Contagion. That's where that word comes from. Contagious. Yes. So it's got a very, very high communicability. And what that means is that it can travel in various different forms. On the wind, it can stay on hard surfaces for a long time. It can stay on clothing. It can get into your eyes or your mouth or your nose. I mean, they never talk about, they always talk about this, your eyes and your nose and your mouth, right? Don't touch your face. What about this? These pretty big holes right here too. They never talk about your ears. Cover your ears. That's a big, you know. There you go. So that should tell you something right there. It's all a big, I don't know. But it doesn't add up. Nothing is making sense anymore. And it hasn't for a while. So you can call me whatever you want, but I know something is coming. And it's just like to everyone up north, the elders told you, hard times are coming, and they are. But you guys should count yourself really lucky, because you're in the cleanest part. You're in the most remote part. And you're the ones that are going to survive because you know how to survive. And you've been told already, this is coming. These people in the cities, no. And they're still believing what they're being told that's coming out of the latest briefing. And sadly, here in Canada, it's the same thing. And Trudeau makes his daily appearance, and everybody sits and waits and looks at their watch. No, see, they don't even wear watches anymore. Watches are gone. Now everybody looks at their phone. Hey, he was supposed to be on 10 minutes ago. What's going on? What's going on? Like, and that's the buzz for a while. And then that'll hit Twitter even. And people will start complaining about that in real time and say, hey, where is this guy? Oh, something may be going on. And then they'll spin a story right out of that and say, oh, he's late because it might be this. And then they just say might be, and some other reporter will overhear it, on purpose spin the story. It was overheard by an unknown source that blah blah blah, and then they tie it in with the story that these guys put on, and boom, there you have your fake news, right? And it's the media themselves that are spinning the story to their own advantage, because they're being used as a tool for the government for their propaganda. Any kind of dictatorship or oligarchy or plutocracy or any kind of system, political system like that, uses some kind of media to not only pass the message but enforce it to the masses. And that's why they call it mass media. So anyway, I'm gonna be quiet for a while. I'm getting talked out, but I got a lot of stuff going through my head, and it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I'm still having fun, and yeah, kind of a rainy day, but I think we need the rain to get rid of all the snow and make that grass go green again. So y'all have a good night, and to everyone out there, I'm just gonna say, I'm not gonna say be safe and wash your hands or nothing like that. I'm just gonna say you do what you gotta do, and just do the right thing, whatever it is for you and your family, or who's ever with you right now, that you're gonna do whatever with, right? Until this is over. So, or who knows if it's gonna be over. So just hang in there. It is gonna be. It's gonna be. That's all I can say. So, Tata Gunzi, peace out. Peace out. I'm gonna have another smoke. I'm going out.